Alright, welcome to BrickTrains, and I'm Joey, and we're over here on the layout, and we're going to work on the American Freedom Train today. So, got a couple things we're going to look at. One, I got a new bell design, which is not a new bell design, it's an old bell design. In fact, can you see in here? Are we seeing in here? I don't know if we can get a close-up on that, but that bell from the firehouse is the inspiration for my Freedom Bell, which is going to go in the American Freedom Train. So that's our first thing. Our next thing is let's talk about this. What is that, you're saying? Well, what this is the first steps of my second tender, which is going to be my second power supply. So 2 motors, power function motors, the battery, a switch to reverse the polarity so that both these motors will go the same way, and importantly that the wires go up through the middle. That's the big kicker here, right? I can make these motors run the same direction off the receiver. The problem is I need them to go in opposite directions because one of them is going to be turned 180 degrees, just like this. So that little switch is a polarity switch, and it reverses them. It's one of the good things about power functions. Powered up, to get that same kind of thing, you have to take the controller and turn one up and one down and use both buttons, or build an app. You can build an app on your phone and make it do it, and it works pretty good that way too. But you got to use an app. So, and they can't transfer the app, so it's not like I can write the app and give it to everybody or whatever. It's, you got to kind of know how to write the app. So, yeah, that's our new tender. We're going to have 2 tenders. This, let's get a close-up here of the other tender. See if we can get down her. All right, here's the other tender. We got I got a little fireman in there, I guess. So we got a coal load. This obvious yellow piece is really just for pulling it up so we can expose the battery, and it just kind of lays in there, sticks down on the back side. We have on this side, we have this white slope piece. Now I'd got dark blue slope pieces. I got some dark blue slope pieces in the last haul. That's going to be terrible. All those lights in the ceiling are going to be horrible. So let's get those blue. We got these dark blue pieces, and let's just raise the camera back up, and we'll look down. Here's these pieces, and we'll get them on the. We'll get 3 of them on there because that's all I've got so far is 3. That's not even going to be enough. Nope, 3 gets, yeah. 3 gets me one side. So there you go. What do you think? Need to kind of maybe raise that corner up a little bit. Doesn't melt together real well right there, I don't think. Although this side, I really like this side back here, so it's going to be about fixing this side. Actually, I'm pretty happy with that. That's kind of coming out the way I actually kind of intended. So, get some more of those, and then we're going to need them for the other tender right here. And then we'll have the train. So, what else do we got? We got, I'll tell you what, let's get a controller, and we'll back the train up. I guess. And then we're going to pull it forward. Look how good that's working. Okay. So here's our observation car. We put some of those little toothy looking things to kind of make a banner. They had like a canvas banner that was going around the edge. I don't know. I kind of like it. I think theirs was blue and white. I did red, white, and blue. I might switch it to just blue and white. You notice the roof is getting kind of crazy. Well, we have the pieces now. thanks to Lego. so let's see if we can fill in this roof real quick. And get it back on the track so we don't do anything weird. Because I'm going to have to put some pressure to get these on. These two sections here actually come loose, right? So that's going to give us access into the press car itself, and so we can put minifigs and whatever, we can see what's going on inside there. That one looks good. I like it. I think I am very happy. That pink piece you're seeing right there, that's supposed to be a whirligig, and it's also not supposed to be pink. All I had was pink ice cream, or if it was brown, it'd be dog poop, right? Did I say that out loud? There we go. Let's put these up. So there is our roof. I'm kind of liking that. I think that's going to look good. Again, we've been over this car before. We got the doors that open. Here's our vestibule. We got that white piece in there. I got some new ones of those from Earl. Mardi Gras man. So we got black ones. I got a whole bag of those. I don't know, did we show the door in there? We got to get door pieces for all of these. Let me see if I can change this out real quick. Get rid of the white piece, and we'll put here's our little red. I don't know why. I kind of like that red piece in there. It looks like a light. I don't think passenger cars really had that. So we have a solid 1x4 behind it. Just kind of adds to the door. There we go. There's our vestibule. The door doesn't open, but just for aesthetics. Okay. Kind of like, we got the corner. I used a quarter round. See, you can't see it if I'm showing it to myself. There's a quarter round, the tiles, and some slopes. These are supposed to be roof vents, like little air conditioning roof vents or something. I don't know. They're in the prototype. And I guess while we're here, let's go ahead and let's do one of these cars. Let's get some roof pieces on this car. Are we in the shot? Right there. Now these cars are not going to, there's not going to be any access to these cars. So once I put these roof pieces on, well, actually right now you can't even get into them. So it's not like once I put the roof pieces on, they can't get into them anymore. We're just not, I've made a decision to not get in, and I've already messed up. I could tell. Oops, because the center is supposed to be a 2 wide. So a 2x2 slopes goes there. I have some of those somewhere. All right. These flags that you see on the train, so these flags, my daughter's going to be printing bicentennial flags, some just plain American flags, other items. I think there probably some of them would have had state flags, especially for the states that they were visiting. I don't know that we're going to break down and get state flags, but we are going to get flags, and then we're going to have a lot of, whoops, just knocked the vestibule in. We'll have the printing. We're still missing a piece right there. Need to get that piece. We're going to have the printing for the American Freedom Train, and I think that's what's going to really bring this together. So I said I wasn't going to have access to these, but I've decided to do these windows. They had displays in these windows. So I have a panel back here. This, what is that, a 3x4 panel? Yeah, I think it's just a 3x4 panel. And I'm going to have her print stickers with the images that were in each one of these windows. And we're going to stick them in there, and that's how we're going to do these. And then that's how we're going to access this. These are going to be able to be pulled out. Now this one's stuck in there. Yeah, this one's got the tiles in there, so you have to loosen the roof to get it in there. This one's missing that brick, so. All right, so there's our next roof. I don't have a decision yet on what kind of air conditioning. I need to look that up, see what kind of ports or what we're going to do down the center. Something, we'll have something there. And basically these cars, same thing. They had these spotlights on them. I kind of had these, you know, the trains wouldn't have ran with these flags and spotlights. It wouldn't have ran down the track with them. This would have been when it was in display mode. And so I want to model these, or I want them available to be put on when I do my roof pieces, right? So these pieces of roof, I want to be able to have, when I go to start putting all my little slopes on, I want to be able to know where I need to leave spaces for my lights and stuff. So that's why you see the lights on the train currently, but when it's running, they won't be there. Haven't really done a lot of any more work with the interior. I kind of got on a hold in a holding pattern because I was wanting to get these roof slopes. These, what are they, 2x4 by 2/3 slopes, rounded slopes. Knock the bridge over. Wanted to get those in place, and before I kind of moved on, because I wanted to really make sure that I was getting the proper height and dimensions and stuff. The cars are, my cars are a little shorter than I would like. I would like them to be longer. But that blue base plate, using that big, ugly blue train base plate, kind of limited me on the length. Maybe it was a poor choice. But I can tell you, working with the tenders, which have no base plate, usually I use the big, ugly black base plate, train base plate, to make a tender, or at least a big portion of it for the support, because it makes it nice to have that support. It's not just a flat plate that can want to warp and do kind of weird things if you're not careful. You got to really, again, I'm not a Lego master or Lego designer, so maybe there's some secrets to keeping some of that, but I have trouble building that kind of stuff out of plates and getting it to kind of really firm up really well. I know, you know, Brick Model Mirrors, they do it, and I've looked at their stuff and I've seen how they do it, and they build a lot of structure support in there that's also cosmetic, but at the same time it does have a lot of support. Being that these are 6 wide, it makes it a little harder to sometimes get that extra support in there. So I like using the big ugly train bases. They're good rigid pieces. My tenders, I'm having a little bit of trouble getting that to stay. I think once I get them all, get all the sides and everything, get it all kind of solided up. Solided up, is that word? Is that even a phrase? Is that anything? Once I get everything kind of firmed up and get everything together and stop playing with it. I don't know how many times I've taken these things apart, put them back together. It ain't helping the clutch power either. But once I get it all kind of done, I think it'll be fine. It'll be fine. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. So, yeah, I think other than let's just take some laps around the layout, I think that's about all I got for this one. Now that we've got my roof pieces, I'm going to hopefully start kind of getting into it again. And it's getting real close to the duplication point that I've talked about before. A lot of these cars are going to be the same, and a lot of repetition, so that's not going to make great video. So we're probably going to get to a point here where I got all the different, I guess the biggest different car I have now is there's a couple power cars, the P&W 76, and then the flat cars. There are some flat cars, and there are some baggage cars too that the crew was using, the tool cars and stuff. So the flat cars are going to be the biggest challenge, and I'm not sure, again, back to these base plates, how I'm going to build these flat cars and get these stuff. They carried quite a bit of equipment with them, concession stands, ticket booths, support vehicles, fork truck, all kinds of things that they carried with them as they traveled around the country. And so they also had 3 pretty good sized flat cars that they had to keep going too. So once those are done, and I have all the display and showcase cars done, then it's just back into basically the passenger cars. There were several kinds of passenger cars, sleeping cars and stuff, and they get kind of similar. So I'm trying to do a lot of interior on those, but again, we'll get into that repetition, and we'll probably end up with longer and stretched out videos about this, because or further apart, not longer but further apart, because you're not going to want to see me build one of these one week, and then next week it'll be the exact same car with maybe a different picture in a window. So all right, let's see it driving around here again with these 2 tenders, or at least the power for the 2 tenders. And yeah, thanks for watching.
So, you made it to the end of the line. Must be comment contest time. Those 2x4 by 2/3 slopes that are used for the roof pieces, what year were they first introduced? First correct answer in the comments. Pin you to the top.